Hello everyone, Krydax here. Welcome back to our Pyanodons playthrough. So, in between the last two episodes, I've made quite a few more logistics bots. We are up to 92 of them, and we are slowly going to be dealing with all of our different options here. We need to work on the crushed coal, and then we'll start working on moondrops, because that's a plant that will get us towards automating circuits, which will be nice. And it'll be a lot easier to automate circuits now that we have logistics. So we need to work on making a lot more coal out of the raw coal, and that will help with our raw coal amounts. One other thing I did between episodes is I made a mine for more raw coal because we were actually starting to run out. So what I'm actually doing is I'm mining 2 full belts, stacking it, and then putting that on half a belt so that later I can have a different kind of ore traveling on this belt. So because of stacking, we can actually get 4 belts of ore, of 2 different types of ore, on one belt for a long distance. So that helps us not need trains for a while as well, because belts have 8 times the throughput. So we were essentially running out of this raw coal, and I still needed a bunch for my aluminum mining. I needed a bunch for this syngas that powers all my glassworks, and I needed a bunch for all of this power generation. And we will have to revamp the power generation as well at some point, because we can much more efficiently make coal gas and coke, and we can much more efficiently make syngas by adding oxygen. So there's a lot of steps to do. But the first thing I want to do is deal with all this crushed coal. And I think the way that I'm going to do it is just with a separate factory, because I don't really want to redo all of this at the moment. I will eventually change to using this coke recipe, which we turn coal into red hot coke, and then we turn red hot coke into coke, and we actually get hotter coke oven gas, but we get less of it. So I actually kind of compared the two, and we get about the same amount of hot air, essentially. For a full belt of coke output, we get 31.5 of the 500 degree red hot, or coke oven gas, whereas with the other recipe, which for some reason is in a different chain, where did it go? I think it's at this one. Yeah, this is, we would normally get 75 of the 250, and we get about twice as much hot air out of the other one. So, but all in all, we use a ton less raw coal, right? Here we're using 28 raw coal to make all of this, and in the other version, we are only using 8. So less than a third of the raw coal. And in terms of power, that's 4.4 megawatts, and this is 13.4 megawatts. So we save a ton of power as well. And buildings, that's a ton of buildings, 34 buildings, and this is only 18. So it's much denser and easier to work with. And I think I already have this pinned, but let me hit that button again. So in this recipe, this chain, we only need 6 crushers, so we don't even need 7. We need 2 screeners and 1 more crusher. So I might actually put all of that in here, and then in the other building I'll have these guys. So we'll make 1 more factory building, and I'll just put it right next to it here. And then what we'll do is craft a couple of the things we need here. Screeners, I need 2. Secondary crushers, we need... Well, we do need 6, actually. And then we need 1 more. So I've already got the 7 that I need. And then I need 2 quenching towers, which need concrete. That's unfortunate. How do I make concrete? Rich clay and sulfuric acid. Is that really the only way? So we may not be able to do this after all. No, I can still make it the old way. I just need to invest some green science. So we are going to do it that way because sulfuric acid. Well, hold on. I mean, maybe this isn't as ridiculous as I think it is. $50 sulfuric acid. We would need 1 iron plate and 5 sulfur. Also a green science recipe. Or we can make it from biological means. Or we can make it from acid gas, which, if I remember correctly, you can get from tailings, kind of for free. Yeah, right here. You don't get very much, though. You only get 15 from 100. But if you have, you know, tens and hundreds of thousands of tailings, it's not too bad. You can also turn a bunch of flue gas and gasoline into acid gas, but we don't have gasoline. That's more work than I want to deal with. So I guess for now, it's a question of, do I want to use this one or this one? 15 rich clay I can just get from ash. And sulfuric acid we can get from sulfur. There are sulfur veins. You can actually just straight up mine sulfur. So the question is, sulfur mine. Am I close to having that? It looks like I am. So I might actually use the other recipe for concrete. And we do have a little bit of sulfur already because we get some sulfur output from here. So since I only need it for building, let's go ahead and make some sulfuric acid. Let's see. Sorry, my brain's not turned on this morning. I don't even know what I'm doing here. So we do need to research this to make sulfuric acid. Or no, that's the other recipe. Okay, we still need to research it. And I need chemical plants. And then iron plates and water, we can just bring all that in with logistics bots. And then concrete is what I actually want to make here. So we'll need ash as well. And that has to be made in an automated factory. And the concrete is made in a furnace. Okay. So we need a factory. I love these little detours. You know, here I am trying to make a quenching tower, and then I have to deal with all this. Okay, so we'll do... I think we'll actually just do a factory building, because this is going to be enough stuff that I don't want it to spread. I've noticed in my previous Pyanodons playthrough, I'm like, oh, I just need to make some concrete real quick, and then I end up with, you know, something that's like this big, or maybe this big, to make concrete, and it's not that good to use all that space. So where will I make it is another question. Maybe just right here. I don't really know where I should make it, but this is where we'll need to request. And we'll request stacked ash. Probably here. And then we'll request sulfur. And I don't think I've been stacking the sulfur. Have I been stacked? Oh, I can't stack it yet. That's right. I need stacking level 2. So we'll just request some sulfur, and then we'll request some ash that is stacked. And I will need to provide some stacked ash, which I know of a place. I know a guy where I can get some easy ash. And then, let's see, so here's 2.4 thousand ash. And then we'll need to do the same thing over here. Excuse me. And we're going to stop providing. Or I'll do something like this. So we'll attach this belt to this circuit network, and it will only enable if ash stacked is greater than 10,000. So that'll put 80,000 ash in the network. Yeah, that works. And then we'll actually prioritize this to the right, because then we'll be turning ash into coal dust and iron oxide. Because we do use ash for a lot of things. And I think I've routed all of this ash to that direction. I guess this ash over here needs to go in that direction. So we'll just do a little filtering. Ash. Power that up. Add in a belt that just connects up with the other belt. And we'll call that a day. And there's other places that I will need to collect ash as well, but that'll at least get enough to start our rich clay, which will get us some concrete. And I'm going to need some more copper soon. Though once I get the better copper recipe from Green Science, that will help a lot. It'll probably more than double. I feel like because it switches over to molten copper, it'll be a huge boost. And let's see how our Green Science is doing. We need to move a few more. Or wait, I don't need to move it anymore. That's right. So we're stuck on these things because we're stuck on biosamples. And we're not providing any biosamples. For what reason? What am I out of? I'm out of titanium. I'm not providing any titanium. For what reason? We've still got titanium ore flowing. Oh, this building is backed up. That's part of the problem. So I'm only providing it at half, or providing the acetylene, that is, at half the speed I normally would be. So that's part of it. But it does look like our titanium ore is going. Let's make sure the plates are being produced properly. Looks like everything's functional, we just don't have enough ore. So, the acetylene back up there was part of the problem, because then I was only getting half as much. And we were already strapped for titanium, even with the full amount, so that's probably all it was. Okay, so back to concrete, which is here. Concrete, let's actually put that on the building. So we need to unstack, and then output, and then go in, and this will just output and go in. And we need some iron plates. Thinking of a better idea here. What if I have something like this with filter outputs? So we've got iron plates on one, sulfur on another, and then they combine onto a single belt. Probably could just use filter inserters, but that's fine. 200. Probably only need like 50 iron plates. And then we'll need a few pump jacks. Okay, so then the ash comes in. And that comes from automated factories. We'll make 2.5 rich clay per second. That should be plenty of concrete per second. So we'll start with one factory for now. And we'll just need water. And then that's going. And then we need sulfuric acid, which comes out of chemical plants. Problem is we don't have those yet, or we can't make it yet because of the green science backup. So titanium is currently our problem. But, I mean, the titanium ore is moving, so can't really do anything about that at the moment. But we can begin our coal improvement process while the green science slowly works. So we'll start by just cutting out all this. And we'll pin our recipe again. So then I need 2 screeners dealing with the crushed ore. So I'm going to switch these so that the crushed ore will now come to the left. Crushed ore, crushed coal. And that means we'll be getting just coal dust in this one. We don't have quite enough room for that. I'm going to move these 2 up by a square. And I think we can actually make do with that right here. So then the crushed coal will come up here, up to 1.5 per second. And then the outputs are significant, so we'll put fast inserters on them. And then we have coarse coal, which needs to go to a secondary crusher. So we'll do output priority left, filter coarse coal. That will just go here. And we'll need 1.36 per second, which that can handle. And that can make 1.81. And that just makes regular coal. So that's great. And then we will input priority on the stuff coming from coarse coal. And then we will also input priority the stuff coming from the crushed coal. So that'll be input priority left. And then we probably actually don't need this one. Because the coal dust, I think we can fit it all on one belt. Yeah, I mean, we've got plenty. So then, because this makes coal dust as well, so we'll just be including that into the overall belt. And then we'll have the coal dust maybe come out to the right here. So where did I have it coming before? It was coming out to the left here, which we can actually still do. So the coal dust will still be output in the same place. And then the coal, rather than coke, will be coming out in the bottom right. And it'll be a lot more coal for every raw coal, because we don't have to deal with crushed coal anymore. And then that will come out here. We'll have it come in this building in the bottom right. And then coke will come out the bottom left. So that means crushed coal won't be coming in here anymore. And what I might do is set up some sort of, although I've really stuffed this in here, but I might set up some sort of further priority where maybe we do another screener that comes from a chest. Yeah, I like this idea. We'll put this here. We'll have crushed coal come in. We'll be outputting into that. And then let's see, so we'll have a, we'll just output on a belt. I've run out of transport belts. But we still want to prioritize what's coming from this building. So something like this. Does that work? So we need this to only be regular coal and coal dust, though. And then that will automatically put the crushed coal into here. Put that coal on that belt. That will be input priority into this belt. Essentially, I want to use up all this crushed coal first, so I can kind of jumpstart it once in a while, and that way we'll use that up before anything else. Okay. That's pretty good. And our concrete is slowly being researched. Our titanium is just really not doing so hot right now. I wonder if there's... No, we're using all our acetylene too. We just can't... I don't think we can make this go any faster. That's okay. We'll get there. But we have the recipes we need for everything else, so. Okay, so that's fixed some of our coal problems, at least. We'll need to do the same thing up here for our power generation. We've also already got a decent amount of storage filling up. Rubber seems to be doing okay. Engines are fully saturated. Oh, you know, I know what I can do. We can get our personal logistics requests going. Start with some of the things we know we need. And then move on to some other resources. We'll always want some rubber. We'll always want small parts. I can probably live with 500 small parts now that logistics bots will be taking them to me. We'll need stone bricks, which are at the bottom here. Need a stack of engines. Or wait, that's not where stone bricks are. We'll also want copper cables, maybe 600. Change copper and iron to 1,000. Stone bricks are here. We'll want to request belts, 400. Underground belts, 100. pipes, 200. Underground pipes, 100. There will be more things I'll want, but I think that's all I've automated so far. What is that? A caravan controller? I have no idea what that is. And then I'll probably want some other of the plates. So we'll want to make sure chromium's there. Coke is probably good to have one stack of at all times for when I need to fuel things up. Nexalit, we want a stack of. Don't think we want borax. We do want soil because a lot of buildings require soil. Same with limestone. And then we'll go to raw ores where all the plates are. We'll want duralumin. Duralumin, aluminum, glass, lead. I mean, we just want a stack of everything. Nickel. We're not even making nickel yet. Tin, titanium, zinc. We're also not making zinc. I think that's everything. We don't need any ores. Already got those items. We will want circuits, but we don't have circuits yet. Ceramic. I don't think we need graphite for buildings. I guess we'll find out. Same thing here. I don't know if we need any of these for buildings. So we won't supply that, but that should help quite a bit. And what am I lacking? Looks like they've actually provided everything that we have. We're just short on the titanium, but we already knew that. So, sweet. Okay. So I'm gonna speed things up a bit because the screen science is painfully slow. Let's see what's happening with titanium. Looks like part of the problem is the rubber belt wasn't saturated, so some of it's going to that. This stack of 8 provider also isn't saturated, so some of it's going to that. So we'll go up to 8 times speed here. So once those two things are fully saturated, a lot more of it will be going towards biosamples. Can we go to 16? I don't know if the UPS can handle that. This feels like it's going as fast as it can. Yeah, we're only at 250, which is really only about 4 times speed, actually. I wonder why. Normally the UPS can handle more than that. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's a little bit better. So then the other issue is the cages, which is a really long belt that eventually will be saturated. It looks like we've gotten backed up on quite a few of these places, and we're slowly getting backed up on the actual AUGs themselves. So I might, to kind of reduce the time it'll take for this to back up, we'll just request 50 cages there and delete this whole belt, because I don't need very many or very much throughput here. So I'm fine to just have it provided. And that way I won't need hundreds to just be sitting on the belt the whole time. And that'll help a little bit, I think. But yeah, everything else is super backed up there, which is good. Same thing with bone meal. I could probably just provide it so I don't need this whole giant stack, and I could even provide the caged augs. But it's okay. We'll just let it saturate slowly. So yeah, now this stuff is full, which helps. Concrete's at 61%. What else can I do in the meantime? Let's work on finding all the other places that ash is created and deal with that. Like I know ash exists right here. So we will just provide that with a... We'll just have a filter, output right, ash. And that will go directly into a stacker, which goes into an active provider. And then... Let's see, how do I get rid of ash? I know I can mix it with air in a gas refinery, though, which is probably a huge building. So I don't know if I want to do that just anywhere, because that takes up a ton of space. Probably easier to get rid of it using these solid separators and just turn it into coal dust. So let's do that. So this is kind of the backup plan. Also need to do something with the iron oxide. I don't know, maybe we'll just leave that. I do use a decent amount of ash. Oh, this should be a provider. And wood should be on my logistics request. Because that's important. Alright. We're at 66%. It's not happening very quickly, I will say that. Has this stalled out? What's going on here? Okay, we do need biomass, actually, as an input. So we'll put... of course. So it's a second from the top that I've requested that in. Well, I do stacked biomass, but I don't think we need much per second, if I'm remembering correctly. 2.5 makes 75, but we need at most 13. So yeah, we need at most like half per second. But we need to get rid of that. Okay. So we need the petri dishes, I think, is what I've realized. Which go in here. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Petri dish. 50. Could be plenty. Okay. So that should be automated. We have a little hole in our stone bricks there. Don't know what that was about. Okay, so that fixes that issue. Still just having biosample problems, but we're getting there. We're at 78. I think all of these things are being provided except for circuits. Those are still being crafted by hand. We've got rubber and optical sets. Okay, that's all really good. We also have 75 augs in our inventory. We also have some ash and some sulfur and some coal dust, iron oxide. It feels so good to just be able to get rid of these things when I don't want them. That's very nice. Like, I don't want all those chutes. Go away. And then the bots will just come and take them. I don't remember what all those bolts were for. I think it was for alg paddocks or something. Let's see. So biomass. We're actually having some biomass issues here. Looks like it's actually just related to the inserters not being fast enough. Or we're using most of it for power, I think is what it is. These can take 7 per second, so yeah. We maybe should just throw a fast inserter on here. That should fix that problem. Got a bunch of idle miners. You know, I haven't needed a lot of chromium yet, which has been good, but at some point we'll have to upgrade that setup. There we go. Okay, we got the concrete done. Now we just need 150 more for sulfur processing. We actually do have some acetylene building up, so we'll throw in some more titanium miners. And that should probably fix it. I also wonder about lead. Like, is my lead building up or running out? Is a question I have. Okay, so where's my lead happening? Down here? Looks like the provider chest is slowly... I mean, it looks like it's filling up. And then the lead plates are actually running out for solder. And that's probably because of the good old logistics bots, because they take a ton of solder. Yeah. So that's using up some of my acetylene too, is trying to get these dumb cargo bots. But alas, this is the life we lead at the moment. Do I have the better way to make acetylene yet? That actually might be something I can do. Or wait, it's not a better way to make acetylene. Never mind. There is no better way to make acetylene, at least until we maybe get these magnet things, whatever they are. But what I could do is make better lead, I think, and titanium. The titanium, too, is very complicated, and we need... what's it called? We need that stuff. Methyl isobutyl carbonyl. MIBC. To get the full amount. I think we can actually make plates directly from grade 4, though, which might be a little better. But until we get the MIBC stuff, it doesn't get a ton better. Let's check it out real quick. But the lead, too, might be something worth switching to. Okay, titanium. We would then be making plates from this recipe. And to make that, we make it directly from grade 3. And let's switch to ingredient input 10. And do I have a way to use the rejects? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so the difference would be going from 1.92 to 2.52 for about the same amount of power and the same number of buildings. So a modest increase, but I don't know if it's totally worth revamping for about a 25% increase. And until I get the MIBC stuff, we can't do molten titanium. But lead, let's see what my options are there. So lead, I would need... let's see. Looks like once we do this research, we can just get molten lead directly from lead ore, as long as I can make electric arc furnaces with the resources we have. Which we can. Okay. That's something you always have to check in Pyanodons is, can I craft the building needed to craft the thing? Because it doesn't always work out that way. So let's add a recipe, lead plate, and we definitely will use hot air if available. That needs to be its own train. Okay, molten lead would be coming from lead dust, and that would be coming from crushing grade 3, which comes from grade 2, which comes from grade 1. Flip it. 10 lead ore is the input, and we also need to process grade 1. Let's see. Is this a loop? Grade 1 turns into grade 2, and grade 2 turns back into grade 1. Yeah, so we need matrix solver. And so 10 lead ore goes into 8 plates. What's my current rate? Oh yeah, only 5 plates. So that's a 60% increase. I'll also need to put graphite. We'll want to do like graphite stacking and put that in the logistics network so we can just deliver that easily. But yeah, this is definitely something I want to switch to at some point. Again, I don't know if I want to do that right now because our sulfur processing is almost done. Perfect. So now I can get the concrete going. And I think all I need is water for these guys too, if I'm not mistaken. Sulfuric acid just needs water. And these items at what rate? Definitely fast. 100 per second is way more than I'm going to need. A couple of high pressure furnaces. Making concrete. Oh, and they make 3.75 per second, so we've gone a little bit overboard. The limiting factor is actually going to be this guy. I should probably, well, I don't have circuits automated. I was going to say I should probably automate these fast inserters, but I don't know if that's worth it yet. There we go. That'll make concrete. I'll accept it. And we'll have that just go on a belt. And go directly into a provider chest. Can I stack concrete is the other question. I don't think we can, actually. Doesn't look like it. And it stacks to 1,000, I hope? Nope, just 100. That's a little bit bothersome. You know, like, they changed stone bricks to stack to 500. Why can't they change concrete to stack to 100? So we'll let this fill up, mostly. But now we can make quenching towers. That's what all of that was for. And finally finish our little coke production plant. So we need 3 quenching towers. And 4 basic oxygen furnaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 boilers. And because I always need more, we'll just craft another 5 pump jacks here. Oh, look at all my little bots bringing me gifts. That's a good feeling. Oops, that does need to be there. Okay, so then the coal comes in. And that goes into 4 basic oxygen furnaces. I think I only need 2 spaces here. Yeah. And then we'll need to connect up the coke oven gas. And we'll have that go out the side. It needs to be an input pipe. And then the coal will run up along the side here. You know, I just realized a problem. I can't tell it whether to use coal or coke for fuel. Interesting. So what I actually want to do is pre-feed these with coke, because otherwise it'll put coal in there as fuel, and we'd rather use coke because that is just more efficient that way. And then we'll connect up the steam. So then we'll insert, what's the rate we need here? 3.33. It's a very fast rate of inserting. So we'll do 2 fast inserters each. And then that will output red hot coke at a rate of 0.833. We'll do sideways inserters just to make sure. That it's fast enough. That's a bad idea. And now we have red hot coke. We did not do the steam yet. And that goes into the 3 quenching towers. Which actually, oh yeah, they output steam. I forgot about that. I need to find out real quick if they output the right temperature of steam. Or if they just output... Oh, but we need steam to jumpstart the whole process. So we'll remove all this in a second. I just need to find out if this actually works. Oh, it does say 100 steam, 165. Okay, well, I just didn't need to do all that then. Because essentially what we'll do is we'll actually use this steam to power these guys again, rather than putting them in cooling towers, which is an option that sometimes I will use, because cooling towers are a nice way to recycle water, or steam into water. I need 3 of these bad boys. No, not cut. Dang it. I always cut. And the steam output is also in the front, so I don't actually need it to come out the side. And then the air input, I kind of forgot about that whole thing. Is 2 gonna be enough? Oh no, we actually will need 4 of these. And then the water, I'm gonna need to reorganize all this. Move that over by 1. The water, I think 1 object will be plenty. Make some more nanobots while we're thinking. And then the steam, we need the 2 boilers using the output of coke. Oh, and we're actually outputting coal dust too. So I wonder, we have an output of 6.5 coal dust. You know what? I bet I can just use coal dust as fuel and save myself some coke. Yeah, plenty of coal dust. So the outputs on all these, we will just use belts. And then... So what's interesting is we actually are doing all of this to produce a full belt of coke. So I will combine 2 of them, but then I will need to separately filter out the coal dust, which will have the 2 boilers going here. But then this will only be top up because we want to use the steam output first. I guess we can just do it like that, because that'll be 2 belts coming in, and then to the left will go coal dust, which is in. I always forget what it's in. I want to get better at finding them without typing them. It's in coal processing right there in the corner. And then there we will have to output priority left, and it will feed these 2 first. And is that enough? 0.72 is all I'll need. Yeah, that's enough. And then the rest of it will go out the side of the building, and then this will just be all of our delicious coke. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can feed these with coal dust as well. I kind of forgot that that was an option. Yes, that will work. And that reduces the coal that we need even further and makes us even more efficient. So then we need to be sending this coal dust on a magical journey all the way above the top here, which works out nicely actually. And we'll have it, let's see. Yeah, we'll just have it come down here and feed these buildings. Need some more inserters. Let's see, what's the rate that they burn? 500 kilowatts. This doesn't... Oh, those are 3 megajoules. For some reason I thought coal dust was only 1 megajoule. Okay, so then, yeah, we can have a slow inserter. That will work just fine. So the coal dust will come out. It'll be on this belt. That's what will be powering these. The red hot coke will come out onto this belt. We also need this. Okay. I forgot about the red hot coke belt. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to just have the red hot coke on a single belt that's going alongside. And we'll organize the steam a little bit better here. So this will be my red hot coke. We'll just have undergrounds all the way. And then I can just have it go along this way. I think that will work. Red hot coke, output, output. And then pressurized air and water. Connect up all those. And then we need red hot coke going in, which will come off the farther belt. And then everything else is taken care of. And then we need coal dust going in from this belt. Perfect. And then all the extra coal dust will just flow right on out. Or wait, no. I have it flowing out on the right side. And then we'll connect up here. And then we need water connected somewhere. Move these over as far as I can. And then our pump jack, of course, doesn't fit. Let's try something else. Okay. So that's all running, and all I need to jumpstart it is a little bit of steam from some coal dust. So we'll just start this whole system up with a stack of coal dust and see if this works. And I'll need coal dust output on the top right here. Oh, right, the water. That's important. Let's do something really ugly. You know what? There's no need for that. We'll just move this down one. And have it look more like this. That's a lot better. Okay, so now we have steam. Now these guys are running. And I need to put coal dust in the fuel slot. And theoretically, they'll never run out of coal dust because we've got priority splitters sending the coal dust that direction first. Oh yeah, I forgot the coal needs to be output. Good thing there's room right here. Or coke. Did I say coal? And we would ideally hook it up right here. But I don't think that's happening. Oh, there's no liquid output from that building at all anymore. So we can actually do exactly what we wanted to do. Okay, so there's still some coal dust coming out of that building. And there will be coal dust coming out of this building. And we'll just have that use a loader. That should be fine. And it looks like everything's running. Sweet. Oh, the rate on these guys. That's a problem. These need to be fast inserters. That should do it. Okay. That feels good. And then coal dust, we probably... Because if we're going to transport that with logistics bots at all, we're going to want it to be... What's it called? Stacked. I also have red hot coke in my inventory. You wouldn't think that's something you could hold. That would hurt. So we actually probably should be stacking this first before it goes in. We will actually actively provide some stacked coal dust here. Okay, well, I mean, it took a little bit of time with all that research, and this has become a long episode, but we established a much better coke production as well as dealing with crushed coal. And there are a couple other places that we're crushing coal, namely over here for our acetylene. So I might improve those with the same system in between episodes, try to improve my acetylene setup. Because that way we only have coal dust accruing in our network. And I seem to have angered the logistic bot gods. They are swarming me. And we probably need to put some more into the network. 92 is not enough. You know, building one Pyanodon's building, you end up using up like 500 resources in one click. So I'm going to put the rest of these into the system. And yeah, so in the next episode, we'll hopefully be moving towards moondrops, and getting circuits automated is the next big step. So circuits 1. And then probably improving iron. Oops. Improve copper. Looks like improving lead is something we want to do. I want to improve the solder, because there's a much better recipe for that we can use. I think that involves tar and liquid solder. We'll want to... Is there anything else that's on the tip of my mind? I mean, eventually we'll want to improve power via oxygen added to the syngas. So there's a lot of little things we'll need to do to improve things, but for now they're running still, so it's not like we have to change them. Alright, well, we're going to call it an episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode.